GM, what's up, homies? Welcome to Hidden Secrets Revealed Live. Today on Hidden Secrets Revealed Live, happy Passover. What's the point? Let's talk about the human experience and the illogical beauty of religious traditions today on Hidden Secrets Revealed Live. All right. What's up, friends? Today is a fun day, a good day. As you know, or you may not know, I have been ordained as a minister, which gives me credentials to talk about religion and spirituality by the Universal Life Church. I think I paid about $25 to become ordained online. HSRL is a production of Safe New Media. Who this is for? Self-actualizers, making the most of their lives. This micro podcast live stream is just not for you, sweetheart. If you take yourself too seriously, if you are a seeker, let me be your guide to discover divine and fundamental truth for yourself. Fundamental truth defined as it's not about you, and divine truth as defined, I define divine truth as God in you. Let me help you increase the quality and effectiveness of your life by revealing to you the hidden secrets of the universe. This show is specifically for those who are seeking new perspectives, fresh ideas, and a willingness to explore new possibilities. My intention is to help you stay ahead of the curve and make the most out of emerging opportunities. As you know, there are many in our community who may want to apply my unique perspective to their own businesses and developing new products and services and many other aspects of life without neglecting our spiritual needs, which I define as a mind in awareness of human potential, not the worship of gods or gurus. It's very important to define your terms when you're speaking of these things. Today on HSRL, what's the point of religion and spiritual tradition? Leave a comment. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I won't twist your arm to subscribe, but I do appreciate it. It does help the Safe New Media channel on YouTube grow. We are conscious beings. As such, we have a mind which wants to assign meaning. When we encounter something we can't explain any other way, we tend to jump to the conclusion that it is supernatural. Now, let me first clarify that I do believe in the supernatural. I have experienced miracles that can be explained no other way, but I'm also willing to look at things with logic and reason. Okay, because usually when you talk about God, you might as well be saying a wizard did it, right? Why God and not a wizard? The biblical story of Passover contains several metaphors that can be interpreted in different ways. For example, the story of the 10 plagues can be seen as a metaphor for the power of God over the forces of nature and the triumph of good over evil. The story of the Israelites' liberation from slavery in Egypt can be seen as a metaphor for the struggle for freedom and justice in all societies. The birth imagery in the story, such as the baby Moses being pulled from the water, can be seen as a metaphor for new beginnings and the power of hope. Additionally, the Passover story can be seen as a precursor to the Christian story of Easter, which also contains metaphors of rebirth and redemption. Now, I'm not going to get into the pagan origins of Easter, any of that. We can save that for another time. But I do want to touch on a couple things. So, a couple things that could be paradoxical in that holding two contrasting beliefs at the same time in your head, interesting things happen. There's a question that lately I always ask in any situation. What problem are we trying to solve? Naturally, when Passover comes around, it's a joy to spend time with my family and keep the tradition alive for the sake of enjoying the human experience. It becomes awkward when our minds default to religious ideas having bad explanations, right? This understanding comes from physicist and author David Deutsch, who discovered the first quantum algorithm. So I have to credit, I didn't come up with this myself. I have to credit David Deutsch. A good explanation is one that is very hard to vary. In other words, if the variables can be easily changed and you still arrive at the same conclusion, you are speaking of a myth. For example, there are some fools who believe that Jesus traveled to India to study Hindu traditions. According to legend, Jesus, Yeshua is his Hebrew name, but popularly known as Jesus, the great Jewish sage, spent his lost years from between the ages of around 12 to 28 or 30 in India, where, per another tradition, he also escaped after surviving the crucifixion. The arguments are, well, there's nothing written in the Bible between those ages. Well, have you ever thought that maybe just nothing significant happened that needed to be written about during that time? But you have to jump to this conclusion. That's bad philosophy due to the fact that there are no facts, zero verifiable evidence that can be substantiated in any way. It would be illogical for a Torah observant Jewish rabbi to go off on a random adventure, worshiping gods, then come back and say, I was only sent to the lost sheep of Israel in Matthew 15:24. Bad philosophy is immune to criticism. That's the problem with taking religious things seriously and literally. You can take them seriously, but literally, it, it I don't know how else to say this, but one must have discernment, knowing what is a metaphor and what needs to be thought of esoterically. It's similar to music, right? We and art. These things that it's hard to, pinpoint what kind of how do you measure accuracy and beauty. It gets very loosey goosey. So there is a time and place for esoteric thought. Absolutely. Excuses are made for contradictions that don't hold up to critical and rational logic. Good philosophy is good explanations subject to conjecture and criticism. It's no different from a parent of a disobedient child who asks why they can't eat candy for breakfast, telling them, because I said so. But that's what parents do. And that's the easy way out because the child doesn't know that that's not a good answer. As for the Passover tradition, the point is to bring families together and reinforce the main story of Judaism. They tried to kill us. We won. Let's eat. Happy Passover. Chag Pesach Sameach. I do this live 10 minutes, Monday through Friday. It's for fun. Hidden Secrets Revealed Live is a production of Safe New Media, unconventional, diversified, global digital media company devoted to the practice, administration, and dissemination of the ideologies of its founder, yours truly, Reverend Sean Allen Fenn. And let me tell you something that we need to clarify. This is totally not a cult. But if you do want to join our cult, it's now easier. You can go to the official website for this show. And if you want to, you can enter your email. You can also access the Telegram via guild.xyz. There is a guild. To get there, go through guild.xyz. The channel is called the Inner Circle, but the private chat is called the Deep Tribe. And this is the cult. I mean, this is what's not a cult. For our tenets of faith, go to safenewmedia.com/deep tribe. I make music, and one of my singles is a one-of-one music NFT, the utility of which I go above and beyond. It's attached to the Deep Tribe. You can find out details. I'm going to wrap it up for today. But I just want to emphasize that if you're curious, I'm right here. You can ask me anything you want to know. I appreciate you following me on Twitter. Claim this free badge. It's a kind of like a POAP on my Twitter. Go see my pinned tweet and collect this. Claim your free badge right now. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing this. And I'm live directly on Twitter at this hour. There's no one else talking about this. So I thank you for making this the most popular live stream podcast of its nature at this hour on this subject at this moment. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. And in the words of a character from The Mandalorian, I have spoken.